Hi everybody, this is Lolly and I'm back today and I have a guest with me and this is my friend Terry.
Hi.
And she has she has a couple businesses. She has her hand in a lot of crafting, and she does painting, and she teaches crafting and art, and she has I said pottery, and she has another business called To Boldly Go, and Go is spelled like Van Gogh, Goghh, yes,
Yes.
and it's her travel art. Well, explain that to me actually in a nutshell. What is your
Well, I love to travel. I love art. I like to write, and I'm hoping to get a little more of a business going with taking trips and maybe getting free trips, getting paid to write about the trips I take. I love to take pictures. I love to sketch while I'm on my trip. I always pack a little bit of watercolors and a sketchbook and like to do
art
that.
on the go or To Boldly Go? Yeah.
Art on the go, and I I love Van Gogh and his work, and I'm so excited. We got this fun little journal from Australia.
And it was in it's in a it's an Etsy shop. I will give you the link below because I got one too, and mine is this kind of the all marbled paint look. There's the front and there's the back. And this one is the personal size for those of you traveler's notebook buffs. And speaking of traveler's notebooks, that's what our main goal is. We want to talk about traveler's notebooks because we got to go to Creativation together with our friend Connie.
Yes.
And we noticed that almost everywhere we went, companies that didn't used to carry traveler's notebooks are now carrying traveler's notebooks. So, in a nutshell, what would you say a traveler's notebook is?
It's a place to keep your stuff. If you like to save memories, sometimes I'll even, if I'm traveling, I'll save a label off a special water bottle or the soap or like a little hotel paper coaster napkin or
Kind of like what I did at Creativation. Keep talking.
absolutely. If you collect postcards, if you have a receipt, they're in France. There are just amazing receipts that are in French, and they have wonderful things. And I tend to keep stuff, and there's always little bits and pieces. And if you travel with some washi tape tucked away, or if you have a little glue stick, you can just pop it in there, draw a picture. But I got to the point where I have this and that, and what do I do? And
bits and pieces, yeah.
I would make my own notebooks because I do like watercolor. And my daughter does also. So it's like, oh, I would love a watercolor journal. They're really hard to find that is more tailored to what I want.
To what you want. You can personalize it. So all these things that we're collecting, like movie stubs and everything Terry was talking about, and I have my airline, boarding passes in this from Creativation. So it's basically, we call it ephemera. We used to just carry in a little shoebox under our bed when we were teenagers. All those little things. You went to a concert, and all those were in there. So that's one thing you can use traveler's notebooks for. The actual construction, I had not heard of them until I was watching a video by My Serenity Crafts, I think, and she was making some leather ones. This is real leather. And so I had made this, my very first one, and I do have a few videos. I have a playlist to show what it is. And it is a bound book. It's just a cover, which you have an elastic to go around it, and then, I hope this is not too dark, you have elastic that runs through the center, through which you load, if I can get to the center of this, through which you just take a notebook and string it through the center of the notebook on that elastic. So that's all it is. And if you have 2 elastics, 3 elastics, 4 elastics, you can just keep adding these little notebooks. And you can make these, they're called inserts. You can make them, you can buy them online, and so you can make these pretty chunky. So that was my very, very first one, and that is called the Pocket Size, and this is another one I made out of fabric. And so I've mostly given away my fabric ones, but I do have that one, and I do have this one that I made this is the one I take to church and write notes, sermon notes in. And Terry has one that I made her because she loves Paris.
Yeah, I think this one went on my European river cruise with me.
Ah.
It fits perfectly the
Can
soft.
you hold it up so we can see the cover there? That's
There
her
it
Paris one I
is.
made her.
It
just-
matches your background here.
There
too.
you go. Later.
So when I originally used this, I have a couple of moleskin moleskin journals, just like paper. I usually keep one lined to write down and keep my memories and kind of journal or do a little diary or do my planning. Then I have a blank one to stick my wine labels on or the different little
Right.
treasures I save, or if I sketch a picture. But those are like really thin paper.
Mhm.
So this I kind of put together. This is probably 140-pound watercolor paper, and I can take this and just sketch or take my watercolors and not worry about my paper getting all crinkly.
And I dragged her kicking and screaming. I mean, there's black heel marks all the way. She did not want to go to Hobby Lobby. I dragged her.
Yeah.
So I need watercolor paper that's lighter weight, like what she was talking about, in order to fold it and make my own little watercolor insert. So I just made one myself. She was very gracious to help me pick
Yeah.
out a good watercolor that wasn't just so heavy. I wanted to be able to score it and fold it nicely and stick it in here. So I made my own now too.
Yeah, we ended up, I like 140-pound watercolor paper, and I think we found 90 or
We found
98
90, I think.
mixed media
Some-
paper.
Yeah, and it's just the right weight for me. I don't really need the real heavy thick stuff. So that was really good. But one of the things that really got us more excited, I was already excited about Traveler's Notebooks, and then I got busy doing other things with my crafting, and I was just getting back into Traveler's Notebooks. Thank you very much, Amira. And so that's when I made my laminated cover one, and I have a video on that. But then at Creativation, seeing all these gorgeous planners, Traveler's Notebooks covers that are coming out and the lines. And then Terry had the blessing to be able to take a class from Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem. Their sister or mother company is Simple Stories. They make a lot of scrapbook paper and crafting paper.
Really pretty.
Carpe Diem, they got on the little bandwagon for making traveler notebooks. And this is pretty much a pattern of the first one we got in class.
Mm-hmm.
And then currently, these are some of the other patterns.
That they have right now. And yeah,
And I, have the means. I've taken some really fun bookbinding classes, and I do like to put fun papers together and bind them together, usually with bookbinding thread or thread that I've waxed. And I'll pop one out for you quickly.
so again, this is called an insert. It's what you put in the elastic in your notebook.
So this was
That is so cool.
scrapbook paper.
And that is so Terry, the whole travel theme.
And I probably had another type of little planner notebook. And when you take a section out and they're bound in with thread, that's called a signature. So I just took a little cutting knife and pulled that out.
So you removed a signature from another book.
And then I bound it, and you can see my little stitches and the stitch on the outside. I just ordered a stapler that's a long stapler, and easily for a class we could staple them instead of taking the time to sew them. But
Right.
it's kind of that personal touch
And
to
I
sew
do
it.
staple mine too. I have machine sewn thinner inserts before, but when you start getting thicker, it's really hard to machine sew on my machine. I have a Dinosaur. I think that's the brand, is called Dinosaur. So, but Amira, and her channel is Amira in Oz Crafts, and she has shown how she does hers. She just opens the stapler up, so instead of like this, it's completely open, and she just pushes down onto her her open notebook through an eraser, and then she peels it off, and the staple is sticking up, and she just folds the ends over, so she can do it wherever she wants with just a stapler and an eraser. You don't have to have the long arm of the law. You don't have to have the long arm stapler. So
Yeah. I was
there's ways
trying
around
that.
it. Yeah.
I need the Amira lesson, I think.
Oh, show us this. So
And for me, the beauty of these is I have previously put together just a little notebook. So, it's bound here. This one's covered. I think I bought a placemat. It's a plastic placemat.
and
but,
you can make
it's
traveler's notebooks
kind
that
of-
way.
made up with different type of things and different kinds of papers, and I put lines, but it's all together. And this, the beauty of these is we have sections. So I have this section here, and this may be my calendar and planning. So I have recently discovered bullet journaling. So I don't know if you can see little dots, and that made it really easy to draw lines on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of put my own slant on making a calendar. And I can put things as I go along. And when I finish that calendar, I can put a new one in. I can have another calendar to write down things that I'm ordering for the store, or my thoughts, or I can have
a diary kind of, yeah.
Right, special for Bible studies. So I did have a friend ask me, well, those look really cool, and I like notebooks, I like fun paper, but I don't travel. So I think traveler's notebook is a word that we use, you know, in the industry, and we know it, and we've heard it, and it's the popular.
We've got to think outside the box. So this thing, it's everything. And, you know, she said one section, one insert could be your planner, your calendar, your daily to-do list. But then you can have the other section could be your exercise journal or exercise tracker. Another section could be, you just list off some other sections you could have in your notebook.
Maybe you're a teacher and you need to make, you know, plans for your classes. You want to keep track of your habits. You know, it's the new year.
Your good ones.
Are we drinking more water? Are we getting in our exercise? Are we taking our vitamins? Are we reading our Bible? That type of thing. Maybe you have lists and you want your to-do list. I think I bought my guys a multi-use tool. So to me, I might call this my multi-use tool. And, you know, we're all different and we have different needs. And sometimes the season will change. And, you know,
when you said multi-use, I was thinking of secretary. This is my secretary. You know, this is what's going to keep it all together. Those of you who have a variety of ink pads or marker colors and you want to keep track of your colors, you can make a sheet in an insert in here for all of your colors, you know, so that would be really handy to keep track of that, you know. But there's so many possibilities. You could make up your own ideas. Some people actually use theirs for some recipes too, but I don't think I would find that very helpful to me because I have too many recipes. But you know, or you could do that. You could make one that's a recipe, your favorite recipes, and then you could swap with a friend. That would be really cool. Yeah. I have one. This is the one that's going to be my business. And so, you know, the front, I'm starting to put in little notes in here, but I'm just decorating the edges of the pages with washi. And I just cut out a rectangular piece and a square piece of thick cardstock or chipboard, and I'm tracing them with gel pens to give me some bullet journaling spaces. I'm gluing in some colored papers just to add some interest because I like a little interest there. And then I'm starting to track in here when I'm posting videos or posting on Facebook or Instagram, just to kind of keep track if I'm on target there. And I also want to write down my goals, my plans, you know, if there's anything that I need to buy, like I really need to buy anything right now. Just saying. So there's so many possibilities. A friend, well, it was Amira, again, gave me this, and this is the one that she gave me, and it has a little L and a ladybug here, and this is all ladybug print, and hers is a soft fabric, and she made the inserts and pockets here. So, and this has been, oops, upside down too. This has been what I have been using from when I was on the design team for Auntie Vera to keep track with my responsibilities there. So if you have other projects that you're trying to keep track of too, sometimes you can have your own notebook or secretary for that particular thing. So this is the one that I put in the watercolor one that I made. And this one I made by putting calendar sheets in it, and you can see right there. This was a download I got from Etsy. I am going to be getting better paper because this is super thin, not so great printer paper from just the basic 20 pound.
And these particular journals here are all the Carpe Diem.
Hmm.
And
And they are, what size are they called? We have the official pronunciation here. It's spelled Cahier. It looks like cashier without the S.
Kaye.
It's called Cahier. And how are we going to remember that?
Yippee-ki-yay!
But it's so, yeah, it's not American. It's also called the wide or the large. In Traveler's Notebook lingo, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So the Cahier size, that's what this is. So that with the notebook itself, there the insert is 5 by 8 1/4. So just so you know, that's what the size is. So what are you planning on doing with all these Cahier notebooks you've been
Well,
snatching
this
up?
is the one I took in class, and I just took everything out so you can see what it has.
Yeah, there's those elastics.
It has
See?
little pockets here, and we put little cards and decorate it. Or if you were wanting to consolidate everything and put your credit cards, you could put them in the little slots here.
And cash.
And there's little pockets in the back, and I did find I could put my cell phone there. I would be afraid it might get left in a cart, or if it's sitting in a cart, somebody might lift it. So I still keep my credit cards and
Yeah, I would
my
too.
phone on my body, or very close to my body. This is what we did in class. It was lots of fun. And, I want you to know that if you're not the person that has a huge stash of paper, a huge, you want to make your own, you're not feeling, I don't want to put together something or put a cover or like put all this paper and staple it or sew it. Well, you can buy the inserts.
Yes.
So this is called a traveler notebook insert. So this particular set came together. So the notebook, or the cover, and the insert was one set. And we did, really fun things in the class. We made extra inserts. We decorated the inserts. We put a pocket in the insert so that you could kind of tuck a receipt in there.
A lot of people do. They'll use some heavy cardstock and make a pocket for the inside of their notebook. And here's what Amira did. So in hers, this is really strong, and she's got pockets in here, and she gave me a paper clip. Of course, there's a pocket in
How
there.
fun.
So that's one that she made.
So Carpe Diem was a great company. It was a great class, and they have really pretty designs. I have the 3 right now, and in May they're going to be coming out with some pretty new ones. But I've had so much fun, and I have friends that are really excited to take a class. So, in the upcoming month, we're going to have a traveler notebook class, a multi-use notebook class, whatever fits for you. If you want a way to keep your memories, if you want a way to, kind of keep your life together all in one piece.
In one piece.
Kind of like
I need to keep my life together. I don't know about you.
The go-to spot. I'm excited to be doing a class.
But I think are you planning on this being a one-off class, as they call it, or is it you're hoping to make this a monthly?
This is going to be a monthly thing, and
it sounds so fun. So if you are anywhere near Colorado, want to travel, or close to the Colorado Springs, or you can make it to Colorado Springs, it would be worthwhile to at least get even one of these classes in. And
yes.
We're going to give you obviously a link to Terry's Facebook.
My
page,
Facebook and my Etsy store.
and her Etsy store.
And
And the Facebook page is where you will put the information on this class, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, because your store wouldn't obviously have that.
And I'm started out as a potter, and then I liked stamping into pottery, and then I like stamping on paper. So I like color. I like, to me, mixed media covers my world. I have, multi-interests, and mixed media is the word, I guess, that covers me. I'm the mixed media girl.
Mixed artist.
But
just don't be mixed up.
okay, well, can't get away from that. With our classes, we'll be doing a monthly class, and we'll have a set fee, and you get the notebook with an insert, and then we'll spend some time the first class kind of jazzing up our notebook and personalizing it and putting in the things that you want to do. Then we'll have monthly classes. Every month is a new holiday or something special.
Right.
And we'll have little
sort of a theme, you
packets that you can kind of put in your notebook to personalize
decorate
it. It's like,
Yeah. So
I
if you
would
don't,
say February is probably a lot of hearts and maybe
so if you don't
pink.
draw or you don't color or you feel like everyone else's notebooks are so pretty and I don't know how to do that, this will be the resource to be able to do that. You will be able to be given the resources. You'll be given the stickers and the printouts or things like that that you can put into your notebook and make it really pretty and colorful.
Yeah, and maybe you want a little extra pen loop. We'll show you how to do that. And
Yes.
so we plan to tuck lots of exciting adventures along the way as we journey through our travel
Well, I
notebooks.
don't have one of those pen loops here with me, but I do have one. But I'm not going to stop the video and go get it. But you will learn how, because obviously some of these
And
things come with pen
They
loops on them.
they do have one
Yeah,
pen loop,
those ones have them.
but if you want to tuck in maybe a highlighter pen loop or something extra, but they're lots of fun and
Yes.
lots of
Yippee-ki-yay.
classes will be coming. Yippee! And we get requests for things online, so if you can't come to my class, we can have something available in the online Etsy shop that I have. Perhaps we'll make some videos and some how-tos and give that to you if that's something you want to include with a off-site or off-location
Nice.
class. But I'm excited about doing this. I love to do art and share it with people, and you'll go home with a really great notebook that you can keep, and hopefully your kids aren't going to snatch it away and say, I think I want Mom's notebook.
But you will gain enough skills here that you will be able to learn how you can customize these or give them as gifts. So if you know anyone else that's excited about it, you can either take them to the class with you or you can, get them one, make them one. So there's a lot of options.
Absolutely. And, even though, I've just kind of picked up this one company line, I may have more lines. As I was going through this and showing my husband, look at these little booklets I made, and he said I could use one of those. So I don't think he wants a frilly one, but I think a nice little, maybe a map covered one would be really exciting for him.
There's so many options besides leather, and this is
Or
the only
leather.
leather one in the whole group. Well, these are a little slightly. Most of them are fabric, they're paper. There's a lot of things you can do with covers. But in the class, you do receive one of your own, vinyl ones. They're really pretty.
And, we're not going to limit it to girly stuff or manly stuff, but
It's just
children. Do we have children that go to school and they need to keep track of their things, their friend appointments, their school
or even
assignments?
college students. This would be a good school tracker and homework and all your events. So if you work related, you can have one whole insert for your job or two, depending on whatever it is you're doing. So lots of the ways you could organize in these, and I'm fascinated with them. I love them, and like I said, I have several of them myself. They each have a different purpose, and then within that there's several different purposes within each one. So this one is mostly my family kind of thing, and I have my watercolor one in here, but I probably will do a watercolor one in each of these. And just look at the different paper types you can do too. I love that this one had this that's craft color paper, and I think that is so cute. And what I did on the beginning, I stamped on the cover of one of these, and it's going to take me a minute to find it, and I stamped and colored in with colored pencils on that one just because it was
it's
plain.
cute.
Very cute. So there's sky's the limit, folks. Whatever your interests are. I think this is something that is economical because you're not filling out a notebook like Terry showed you her spiral bound one. You're not filling out something like that and it's full and then you can't use the notebook anymore. You have to make a whole new notebook. These are just, all you do is make the paper insert that goes inside there. And I do have a variety of sizes. People have asked me what's my favorite size, and I said all of them. There's even a few more sizes that I don't have. If you just go online and you search Traveler's Notebook sizes, you will see all kinds of charts as to what they're called and what the dimensions are. And they are different in the US versus in Europe. So, I mean, they're close, but when you change centimeters to inches and back and forth, it's not always exact. So just Google that and you will see different ways.
Just so we have
look at the different sizes, how
larger,
they compare.
smaller,
And then
little
this
handheld.
this one right in front of that even. So there are definitely, it's a huge market right now, and it's very fun. Oh, look at this one.
And if you like bling, there's
This
bling.
is,
But
well,
we're really excited about this, and there's much more to come, but know that if you're entry-level art or you say, I'm not an artist, you don't have to be an artist. We teach you how to put this together and make it yours. It can be as minimalist, as low-key as you want it, or if you are an artist and you want to embellish it and put washi all over and put your drawings and sketches.
Washi is an easy way to add color without being able to draw or color. Washi is just easy.
So what is washi? Tell us what washi. I see a pile over there.
I see a pile. Washi it's a Japanese masking tape. Here's one that's black and white, and you can actually color it in. I got this from Auntie Vera Scrap and Craft, based in Australia. And it's thin, and it's kind of a little waxy on the front, and it's a repositionable tape, like masking tape. It's thinner. It's very decorative. So, but most of them they have a variety of colors. Are these cats. But the solids and there's even glitter for those that like the bling, chevron, just it's everywhere. So it's really great to add some color.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there. If you're into science, my daughter's an artist, and she created a line of washi that's very scientific. So you could have pink or gray, periodic table, and more science-related kind of things.
And we'll give you I'll also give you the link underneath to her daughter's Etsy shop, where she has all her. It's science-based, but it's very creative and artistic. And like we said, there's washi tape in there. So we'll give you the link to her Etsy shop as well. So
if you're a Star Trek fan or a Doctor Who fan, you might find fun little things at We the Sciency. And thank you for joining us. I'm glad to be part of this.
And make sure you do look at all these links below, because you'll be able to keep and follow her Facebook page, so that you'll be able to keep up with when this class is coming. The first one. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Lolly.
Thanks for coming. Alrighty, bye-bye.